An unknown creature has been caught on camera in the sky of all places.
What is this? What the is this thing in the air?
A stunned woman begins to question her life and her sanity upon recording a creature with tentacle-like appendages flapping about in mid-air. She's parked on the far end of a not-so-busy lot, so that explains the general lack of other witnesses. I'm pretty sure this creature sighting's not real, because this is the only video I could find of it. It would be hard to miss a giant creature wiggling in the skyline like this, so you would think there would be more. My best guess is they've superimposed video of a jellyfish or some other deep-sea creature over the sky to create this monster, but I'm not a special effects expert, so who knows? A lot of children have had the misfortune of being singled out and picked on by their own personal bully, but there's one child in Spanish Town, Jamaica, who has had the worst luck of all. He says that they are being bullied by an evil spirit, and his parents and local town all believe him. Plus, there's video evidence for proof. His face has been blurred out to protect his dark secret. One video shows him sitting in a chair with his family. After being asked a few questions, the ghost decides to take control of the situation. Although he could have been pushing off the ground with his feet, you can't see the floor in this video, so it's hard to tell. One thing is for sure though, look closely and you can see the boy's right arm fly straight up in the air. It's definitely as if he's being grabbed by the wrist and jerked straight back. If he is faking it, then he is a very good actor. Okay, take a look at the second video and tell me what you think. He is just standing against a wall in his neighborhood when all of a sudden... You can clearly see his whole body in this video as the left leg suddenly shoots up, almost as if someone is pulling him by the foot. Again, if this is fake, then he is a great actor with even better balance. It looks like he really is about to fall flat on his face until his mother rushes in to save him. If a ghost really happens to be crossing over into the material realm and grabbing a hold of his shoe here, no one knows exactly why. Still, the local bishop has no doubt that this relentless ghost bully is real. Up a long forest mountain path is an abandoned house near the Chinese city of Chengdu that is said to be haunted. An explorer named the Sneezing Monkey travels to the fabled house to see if anything paranormal is there. There's not much left inside, but he does find an old book that he seems particularly interested in. At 2 minutes and 6 seconds, it almost looks like it gets slapped out of his hands by a possible ghost, but he could have dropped it too. Tell me what these pages say. For some reason, he seems to feel it's interesting enough to show the camera. Not much else happens, and just when I was doubting this house was haunted, I hear this. He's looking at some kind of fire pit or something and hears a noise. He looks up and hears it again coming from the attic. He doesn't stick around for long and wisely decides to leave. Smallmouth Crush is making a fishing video on the Potomac River near Washington, D.C. He's drifting by when further down the riverbank something strange catches his eye. A head is sticking out of the water, long black hair. Her back is to him. He looks at the head for a long time, unable to mentally process what he's seeing and not sure what to do. He gives the object a poke just to make sure it is what he fears. It has a face and it is exactly what he's afraid of. I think we are all thinking it's the same thing, especially from this distance. But when he pokes at it some more, an artificial neck joint pops free from the mud. This is a mannequin head, not a real one.
Dude, what is happening? Look at this thing. This is nasty.
Not finding a body is a relief, I suppose, but it also begs the question as to why anyone would take a blindfolded mannequin head out into the woods in the first place. I've heard of people simulating their demented desires onto mannequins before moving on to the real thing as part of their transformation into a full-blown psycho. There's a lot of creepy people out there, I guess. And to further prove my point, he looks up to find something even more sickening nearby.
Look at that freaky thing. I'm out of here.
It looks like somebody has been using this spot to do some pretty twisted fantasizing, and as he speeds away, I can't help but wonder, what if that's not a doll? Of all the scary creatures I've seen, this unknown underwater sighting is probably one of the weirdest. Check out this creepy video uploaded on March 20th of 2012 from a cheap cell phone in terrible weather, so unfortunately the resolution isn't that great. Anyway, the skies darken overhead, as if heralding the arrival of something dreadful from beneath the ocean waves. That's when this strange sighting is caught on tape, and I'm not sure what it is. A whale's head, the tentacle of a giant creature perhaps, or maybe something even scarier. A creature slaps the boat deck and then goes underwater, with a 9-to-1 like to dislike ratio. Most people seem to believe this scary video's real, but I can't say I agree. Here's my analysis. Like so many others, I too thought it was a giant creature sighting at sea, until I noticed something strange at 9 seconds into the video. Pool railings, or so I suspect. If I'm correct, then this must have been taken at a swimming pool, not a boat like the title says. So either this was a strange creature sighting in a pool, or, and this is what I'm going with, it's merely footage of an aquarium show edited to look scarier than it was. This kind of looks like the tank of a killer whale, so maybe this was taken while training one. If this is fake, then congratulations to the maker of this video for fooling tens of thousands of people into believing it was real and going after a boat. Me too at first, at least until some further analysis. Build it and they will come, but maybe you don't really want them to come after all. Published by Grant Kopek in October of 2020, something creepy calls this cornfield home. Captured on a Ring camera, a homeowner is seen walking outside at night on the farm, but appears not to notice the enormous creature escaping from the cornfield in the background. As the man walks past, the large blurred figure moves from the cornfield toward a big garage to the left. It disappears behind some shadow in the background. Many in the comments think this is a ghost or an extraterrestrial, while others think it's simply a reflection from the man's jacket, although it very well could be the latter. YouTuber Master of None offers some great advice for the farmer. Don't sleep ever again. If I lived beside that cornfield, I'd have to say I'd be doing the same thing. When a Shadow Welcomes You, Run and Hide, published by Polish Paranormal TV in October of 2021. This scary video explores a haunted place in Poland. Upon entering, the team uses a spirit box as they head up the stairs. Right away, the spirit starts speaking. According to a translation, the spirit says either "I'm here" or "welcome here." But how welcome are they? Later, while walking down a hallway, a shadowy figure is spotted leaning against the door frame. You can see it more clearly in slow motion. Do you see it? If you do, this figure will haunt your eyes for eternity. Have you ever filmed a video for your significant other, only to see something paranormal happen behind you? This video appears to show a military man sending a message to his girlfriend or wife, a woman named Trish, telling her he wishes he could be home with her. That's not the scary part, obviously. What's scary is what happens in the background. As he's filming his loving message, what appears to be a sweatshirt on the bed behind him moves of its own accord. And it's not just a small twitch. It's like someone is temporarily inside the sweatshirt. The movement is enough to catch the guy's attention. He looks over his shoulder, but that's when the fear is maxed out within him.
Trish, I love you. I wish I could be home with you too. I know we...
As the cupboard doors beside him burst aggressively open, the man, plainly disturbed by this strange occurrence, gets up and looks around the cupboard and inside before fleeing the scene. Once he's left, one of the cupboard doors swings nearly closed. What is happening here? What is haunting this room? The ghost of a forgotten trooper? With just this video footage, I guess we'll never know. Sylvia Nicholas has a motion sensor camera that turned on momentarily to catch this strange airborne entity as indicated by the green box. Take a look again in slow motion and tell me if this was a spirit orb, a giant speck of dust, a bug, or something else altogether. The name of this scientific study video from Russia translates to sleep paralysis case number 278. A man is deep asleep until the door opens and this freakish face peers in. As soon as it sets eyes on him, the poor man begins to fitfully twist and turn. Many people who experience sleep paralysis report seeing evil faces staring at them as they wake up, but this is the first time any such face has actually been recorded. Is it real, or just two people acting? Is this the work of the legendary magician Hashina, published in September of 2021? This scary video is tantalizing. While I don't have the full context, the short clip shows some men sitting around a room. Some of the men are chanting. What are they trying to do? Exorcise someone of a possession? I'm not sure. But as the group sits there, a creepy shadow figure emerges from behind a door's fogged glass window. It rises and there doesn't seem to be enough room behind the door for something to remain otherwise hidden. What's going on here? Is it some sort of ritual? Don't close your eyes, because when you wake up tonight, this thing will be waiting for you. As we've seen in past videos, animals often see things that we don't, and sometimes that can send chills down our spine. Published to YouTube in January of 2018 by the Bram fam, the video starts out tame as the Bram fam picks up a doghouse from the store. They each go about their day doing various things for the vlog, but once Bramty is home with her daughter, she starts hearing things inside the house. The uploader notes that their dog Milo started acting super spooked, staring in the hallway and outside their balcony. As you can see, the dog appears on high alert, unmoving and staring out into the darkness. He is then captured staring out into the hallway. When Louie finally returns home, Bramty says she finally felt relieved. Do you think this dog was sensing something, or someone in the home? Should they, as Bramty suggested, have the house blessed? That way it'd hopefully be cleansed. A YouTuber named Roy Flores has a strange encounter over the skies of New Jersey when he sees a mysterious aircraft hovering near the overpass he's driving on.
Look, the whole street is stopped. There's a flying spaceship.
And he's not the only one who sees it. Dozens of other cars have pulled over and people are getting out to take video of this strange phenomenon with their cameras, each wondering if this is the moment we finally made contact. A Goodyear blimp is the official explanation for this scary event, but I have serious doubts. I mean, you'd think all these people would know the difference between a blimp, which we've all seen, and something truly bizarre instead. A lot of people are saying this is a cover story for this strange sighting in the sky. Well, I think this design looks way too creepy to be some kind of company blimp. A group of ghost hunters called PXTV go deep in the Wombwell Woods, a haunted forest in the UK where many people sadly go to take their lives. They split up to cover maximum ground, and one of them, Steve, finds a spot he deems suitable to begin an EVP session, which stands for Electronic Voice Phenomenon. He sets up his EVP box and asks any spirits nearby to make a light go on. When it does, he asks for 2 lights, but gets this verbal warning instead.
Can you make 2 lights light up? Ovilus has just said run.
But something descends upon Steve before he gets a chance to do as told. I didn't exactly see anything, but Steve says that he was pushed out of the way by something nearby. And when he looks at his EVP box, the translator displays the word run written in all capitals. I'm not sure if there's any way to tamper with these devices and make them say pre-programmed messages or not, but assuming this video really is unaltered, then the evidence is all right there to see. If you thought gargoyles were only a thing of Gothic cathedrals, like Notre Dame, think again. Published by Mr. Illusion in March of 2022, this scary video purports to capture a real-life flying gargoyle. I couldn't find the origins of this mysterious video, but the footage shows chaos ensuing amongst a group of people as a monstrous creature appears in the sky overhead. The flying creature is enormous, with large, bat-like wings, a long tail, and what looks like a human head. As it flaps its wings, traveling across the sky, the people below panic. It is captured briefly one more time flying away. Is this CGI, a real-life gargoyle, or some other demon in flight? Whatever it is, I wish it would turn back to stone. Two friends are walking around the haunted Matlock Cemetery in Iowa when they see something possibly watching them from afar, a white head that's barely visible behind a tree.
This is scary. You see that? Oh my god! What? Did you see that? What was that?
They aren't sure what it is until they go up to the tree. It was behind and get a closer look, or should I say it gets a closer look at them.
Oh my god! What was that? Oh!
Here it is again, a man wearing baggy clothes and a possibly white mask, though his face is too blurry to tell. I don't know if this was a maintenance worker, one of their friends, or a genuine creeper looking to do them harm, but I do think they made the right choice getting out of there, and I hope for their sakes they never went back. A remote shanty house in the middle of nowhere. It's gotta be abandoned, right? Posted to r/ghosts by Livid Excuse 1640. This video reminds every paranormal explorer to be always on their guard. The Redditor is driving down a dirt road at night in what appears to be the boonies with no lights around apart from a faint, distant glow, and yet in the middle of nowhere they come upon a rundown white house. It's dark and clearly abandoned, or so you think, as the Redditor drives slowly past, shining a flashlight onto the house. He spotlights its empty and broken windows, nothing else, that is, until he zooms in on a center window. Here appears a white hooded figure without discernible features. The realization of what they're seeing scares them enough to drop their camera and drive away. While many Redditors in the comments believe the figure is a squatter rather than a ghost, this sighting at an assumedly abandoned house would be unsettling regardless. The Redditor writes in the comments, "I've been in the house once and it's like the people living there just up and left clothes in closets, dishes in the sink, toys on the floor. It was wild. I got halfway down the hallway and something that felt like pure evil came over me and I ran back out." He also shares some still photos with varying exposures that he took from the clip. What do you see in the Rorschach ink blot? This is only a test. A man from Sri Lanka incites panic in the sky when he announces that he is going to take himself out, along with everyone else on the plane. The pilot makes an emergency landing in Melbourne, Australia, where a special police unit boards the flight. It looks like they are going to grab this man's ankles to forcibly remove him, but they reach past him to retrieve a mysterious black bag left behind by the person responsible, who has already been taken into custody. The man was threatening everyone with a device, which later turns out to be nothing more than a large Bluetooth speaker. The man was eventually taken to a mental health facility. It's worth mentioning that this was the same Malaysia airline that had a plane go missing over the Ukraine years ago, so they really were not taking any chances this time. This family is getting no sleep. TikToker Paranormal Replay shares this scary video whose original source is YouTuber Ama Media Channel. A mother and her children are sleeping on the floor when this happens. The lady moves the toy as though she's used to these types of strange occurrences, but not long after, it starts to move again.
One.
And then an object is flung from the sink. That one finally scares her awake, but as she's just settling back in, she hears this. What sounds like a hairdryer wakes her up again, but the next disturbance wakes them all. Did you see it? At the end, peering around the corner. Is the ring girl behind it all? Whatever it is, I won't be going back to sleep tonight. This creepy Randonautica led YouTuber Jasco Vlogs to Devil's Forest, and he was met with this mysterious call of the wild.
Trying to see if there's any. Bro? What was that?
I don't know what that was, but it sounded afraid. They then find this bizarre shelter.
Alright. Looks like someone built some type of shelter here or something. I don't know what... Or maybe it's just...
What is it for? Jasco is right that it's not natural. Shortly after, they feel like they're being followed.
Walking towards us right now. I don't know if it's that same person, but let's get out of here.
While I'm uncertain if they are or not, I do think it's smart to put some distance between them and that mysterious shelter. Some people are afraid of nuns to some extent, so imagine how a nun spirit might terrify someone like that. The Ouija brothers entered the UK's most haunted nunnery in this scary video. Early in their investigation, they hear this spooky sound.
I'm just walking, I'm just having a look if there's anyone there. There's a humming.
The humming happens again shortly after.
Hold on, the humming just happened again.
Later, they hear something rustling very near them.
It sounded like someone... You see there's like debris there on the floor. I don't know if it was like debris falling on the floor. But it was like movement. I don't know if something... Like something like that.
Was that just some of the debris from the wall falling off? Or is someone invisible standing in this corner? Considering how spooky this place feels, I personally think a ghost nun is there. Say your prayers. YouTube team Ozark Paranormal Project sets up a stationary camera in this haunted room. While the group is all hanging out in the hallway, notice that their shadows cast from a light in the next room to the upper wall.
I walked it on the park.
And there's a gardener in my
But later, when no one's there, strange lights are cast on the room's walls. What was that? Watch above the open door. It almost looks like fairy dust. It doesn't appear the same as the other light sources falling in the room. But is it paranormal? I think it's more likely a camera glitch of some kind, but I've never seen one so bizarre. Nursing homes are rife with elderly spirits that just cannot move on. This surveillance footage may have caught one of them. Posted to YouTube by Rice RV4 in September of 2012. This clip is surveillance footage of the Niles Nursing Center, as indicated by the sign in the hallway. The clip shows the elevator door drawing open with no one exiting. Then off to the right, what appears to be a cane slides across the floor in the hallway. It also moves to one side apparently on its own, before several people are seen passing through the hallway. And someone finally picks the cane up and places it out of harm's way, leaning it against the wall. The cane then disappears altogether without anyone making an appearance. YouTube commenters suggest that the ghost may have been trying to trip people with the placement of the cane. One commenter in particular, Siege Crows, suggests that they have some inside info on the case. He writes, "Super surprised that this got out after how hard the nurses and the people are trying to keep it a secret." In response to this, YouTuber Silent Night Crew states that he was an off-duty cop working security the night that this happened, and the man who leaked it was fired. Whether or not this is true, I think it's safe to say you wouldn't want to be working security when something like this happens. Paranormal explorers Mackie and Amanda are investigating 2 haunted South California estates in this scary video, the Kellogg House and the Mag House. Published in March of 2022, they are in the Kellogg House when something touches Amanda's arm.
Ooh, something just touched my arm.
What?
Something just touched my arm.
Really?
Super lightly, but I
felt it just go like super light.
A moment later, she says it feels like the whole house is shaking. Later, they're sitting in one of the rooms when they hear someone knocking. Mackie also mentions that she heard someone's voice earlier.
Yeah, I did. I thought I heard someone. It sounded like a lady talking out there. Like I was probably a worker, but I remember Eli said that he's the only one here.
While in the dining room, they hear a beeping noise. It is not coming from one of their paranormal devices. Not long after, they hear footsteps, and then those footsteps sound like they're running right at them.
Anyone's up? No, really, what is that?
I don't know.
Is someone upstairs?
Later, they're in a child's bedroom when one of their paranormal devices picks up an EVP, and then a second one. They speak to the spirits using a spirit box, who tell them that they're present.
Yes.
What? Here. What room are you in?
Here.
Then, when they leave the room, the music box is triggered again. Is something following them around these haunted estates? What does it want from them?
This is the master bedroom right here, and this is where they wanted us to come, so...
It's still going off. Something's following us in here.
Oh, you're right!
Something just, it was you, it went off, and then it was me, it went off, and then there was...
While streaming live at a New Orleans graveyard at night on February 8th, 2020, Franco TV encounters not the undead, but the living. In the beginning, he describes his first encounter with a man in the graveyard, explaining that he'd been warned that thieves in New Orleans like to come after people who explore the city's graveyards at night. He said he'd encountered this man twice already in this episode, explaining that the man was on foot, had a book bag and approached him, passed him, and then circled around while he was outside of his car walking through the mausoleum. He feels a bit shaky from this encounter and says he doesn't know if he's going to exit his vehicle again, but he follows his audience's risky advice and does anyway. As Franco is out, walking around the creepy stone grave solo, he starts to feel unsafe again, and after a time returns to his car. He is examining an above-ground crypt from his vehicle when he hears some footsteps. He continues to drive around the cemetery, saying he heard something from behind his car that sounded like a knocking. He says he can't get out of his car again because he thinks someone else is there. In fact, there he is. After turning around, Franco zooms in on a man walking toward him down the cemetery road. What is this man doing in a graveyard at night? Is he too live streaming for YouTube? It certainly doesn't look like it. Franco doesn't know what to do but continued to drive, passing the guy seemingly without issue. He speeds up, getting out of the graveyard as quickly as possible. As he tries to find the exit, he says the man was literally chasing after his car. He says he felt the man hit the back of it, and as he flees, explains that he must get out of there and find a safe place. He then warns viewers not to enter a New Orleans graveyard at night, as if we needed any warning after watching this. You may remember me talking about D-Menace in a previous video, but I wanted to give this video a further analysis. To describe D-Menace in short terms, the best would probably be Adrenaline Junkie. First appearing on YouTube in 2018, he has posted a variety of videos from conducting one-breath dives to venturing deep into tight caves. His videos are not for the faint of heart and can distress people with the feats he conducts. He has also posted several urban exploration videos. In June 2020, D ventured into an abandoned malt factory complex with several buildings to explore. All alone, he traveled through the dark and derelict halls. For the first half of the video, nothing particularly strange happens. D ventures through the various passages and even into the basement, finding strange and even beautiful graffiti on the walls. As he approaches the stairs to the basement, he feels apprehension as, in his words, the walls and ceiling begin to resemble the altered state of Silent Hill when it transitions to Otherworld.
I think I reached a really dangerous and scary part here because it's starting to feel and look exactly like in Silent Hill.
After some time, he decides to continue down the depths. Here, he finds a red bed or chair, something that gives him the creeps. Written on it in German is, "Raise your legs and chill." He continues to explore the basement, but is in a constant state of discomfort from the darkness, and his mind playing tricks on him. Therefore, he decides to head back upstairs. He then states part of what creeps him out about this place is the lack of wildlife residing in the building. Unlike other places he's explored, he hasn't seen a single bird or rodent since arriving. As he makes his way into the second part of the complex, he begins to feel more anxious, hearing noises around him. He admits he is unaware if it is because he is simply spooked, or if there's another person inside with him. Not long after making this statement, D discovers he is, in fact, not alone in the complex. As he is showing the view out the window, a man suddenly and casually walks out from the trees. Completely oblivious, D sees and is recording him. The man walks calmly to the same building D is in, but D is clearly nervous and says he hopes the man does not have ill intent. He then hears the man speaking, but it is unknown to whom. After, D becomes quiet, listening and acting increasingly anxious. Soon he enters a similar room to where he first saw the man walking up and is startled to see a pair of legs on the other side of a hole in the wall. He quickly quiets down and kneels, but realizes the man must have heard him as the legs retreat in the opposite direction. Realizing the risk of this situation, he decides to try and exit the building. However, as he approaches a corner, the man emerges and pushes D to the ground. After some exchanged words, the two men calm down and discover it was a simple misunderstanding. The other individual, named Jonathan, is just another urban explorer who is also unsure of D's intentions. Luckily this time, for both men, neither were there for anything bad, and were just wanting to check the place out. D's video is a wake-up call for anyone intending to do their own exploration or even ghost hunts. Abandoned buildings pose all sorts of hazards, mostly from the decaying condition of the structures posing physical hazards. What is often overlooked is the possibilities of others in the building who could potentially be living there or committing unsavory deeds away from prying eyes. Both D and Jonathan were justified in their suspicion of each other, and on this occasion were able to laugh it off and even continue to explore the building together. It is likely this made the adventure safe. as the two would now be able to look out for one another in case an accident occurred. It goes as a reminder to how the paranormal is not the only thing to be afraid of on these tours. Dee was definitely thanking his lucky stars he stumbled across Jonathan, as both explorers decided to head into the basement, as Dee felt it was better to have company. Down there they find spray cans, a piece of a bicycle body, and a package. However, down a deep corridor, Dee finds a bone. While it could be misinterpreted for a human, Jonathan points out it doesn't appear to be. On analysis, it more so resembles one someone would give their dog to chew on. Regardless, Dee decides to leave the bone there. Certainly an adrenaline-inducing adventure this time, and thankfully Dee made a new friend to explore with. Still goes to show how careful one must be about the place they explore, as well as who might be in it. This footage was taken in 2011. A man is wandering the woods in Pennsylvania when his flashlight chances upon one of the most popular humanoids of all time. The Sasquatch is devoid of pigment and doesn't put up much of a fight, instead taking off as soon as the flashlight beam hits its face. Notice not only how fast it runs, but also how silently it moves. Somehow it was able to watch the cameraman from less than 10 feet away and get away with hardly any noise. Michael Jackson may have made a spirited cameo in YouTuber Kelsey Davies' adventure in the Forest Lawn Cemetery. Accompanied by Omar Gosh TV, Kelsey enters the Los Angeles Cemetery, where the King of Pop was laid to rest in 2009.
Drawn to over here, like I just felt like I needed to look on these walls, and all of a sudden, this sign and Margaret. Which is so crazy.
This is what happened during the team's visit.
This Michael Jackson close by. Hey, are you here, Michael?
Is Michael have you met him? Do you know if Michael Jackson's here?
After that, Michael began to make music.
Is there someone here with us?
Using dowsing rods to communicate, Kelsey gets a reading.
Let's move it along.
Look.
Oh.
Did it? Are you the? Yeah. I'm so curious.
While continuing to speak to Margaret, she confirms that the spirit is not related to Michael.
Hey, I got a question for Margaret. Are you related to Michael Jackson? We were. Does that mean no?
No.
Okay.
Kelsey then really starts to become one with Michael.
My heart hurts.
Oh.
Like a heart attack. This person. How did Michael die? I know.
Heart failure.
Heart failure?
Cardiac arrest.
That was his.
That was his cause.
And at last, Michael reveals himself.
Is this person here? Is your name Michael? Can you cross the dowsing rods in my hand for yes and open them for no?
They are not alone.
Ooh.
It turns out something else is here.
Are you Michael Jackson?
Oh, it is.
Does Michael have company?
Are you a demon?
Maybe he's playing out Thriller in the afterlife. It's not fun in games anymore when something like this happens. Posted to the very spooky video subreddit by Adam Gray 59. The Redditor is wondering if this is poltergeist activity. In the video, some gamers are playing Call of Duty, and the gamer on screen appears to have gone for a bathroom or snack break. His chair is empty, or maybe it isn't. The chair starts swiveling quietly around. Of course, this unnerves the player on the opposite side of the screen. Is a ghost occupying this chair? Redditor Tommy MCY in the comments says, it's a gamer ghost. while others are more skeptical, saying things like chairs simply do that on their own. So, gamer ghost or just an off-kilter chair? I'd like to think a ghost was at the controls. This doll is supposedly 100 years old and should have no way of moving by itself. Its owner has been feeling suspicious that it could be haunted, so they sat it on a chair in front of a camera and recorded it for 24 hours. Nothing happens for a while, but then... If this was fake, then a fishing line should show up against the dark background. I'd definitely like to hear your thoughts on how this could be faked, or if you believe it's real. Caden Parker meets up with some friends at a local skate park and finds someone much older trying to pick arguments with everyone he sees.
Big man! Who's big man? You, right? I'm going for a sleeper.
Dude, come on, can you just leave us alone? We're just trying to have a good time, enjoying the nice weather.
I'm going for a sleeper.
Soon he turns his attention towards Caden and tells him he's going to put him in a submission hold if he comes down from the ramp. By now the skate park has mostly cleared out, so it's just a face-off between Caden and this angry stranger.
Dude, the police are on the way. I hope you know that.
I hope so. I didn't stop.
Individual at the
skate park.
Skate park, and he kind of slipped twice with little kids.
All right then. Might as well make it worth it.
Yo, tell him to send an officer ASAP.
An officer shows up right before things get any more out of hand. I really don't think this is a fake video, because the officer walks up and puts him in cuffs straight away. Apparently, he has a long history of doing this and nobody seems to be acting. After he's taken away, the park fills back up with people who are scared away. Caden Parker shows a lot of bravery standing up for them, as well as self-restraint by not stepping forward when challenged. Had this escalated, he could be in as much trouble as the person who is actually in the wrong. He did everything right in my opinion, and is allowed to enjoy the rest of his day peacefully as a result. A YouTube channel called Meet the Vloggers goes exploring a haunted cemetery in the United Kingdom in search of an authentic ghost encounter, and they think they've caught a bizarre moment on tape. After a tight squeeze, the three of them are in and immediately feel surrounded by negative energy.
First, we've just come into the haunted cemetery and we're going to have a look around. It feels really eerie, really starting to get dark a lot as well. We're staying here, we're doing exploring, man. This guy doesn't understand what exploring means.
One already wants to head back while there is still light to be had, but is quickly persuaded to stay. Night falls and their unwavering dread reaches peak levels.
100%.
I'm waiting. Oh my god, I'm so scared.
One of them, Layla, sees something ahead, but nothing is caught on camera. Aside from an empty walkway, no ghost sighting, at least not yet. Little do they know a fourth person is moments away from joining their trio. They take a few steps forward and Layla begins to freak out again. She must have a sixth sense or something, because this time there is frightening paranormal evidence.
This is so creepy. Nah, I'm actually bugging.
There's a guy behind us.
A strange and mysterious figure silently approaches them without saying a word. Keep in mind this is after hours, and they themselves had to sneak in through the gate, so whoever this is, they are not likely a visitor. That leaves a maintenance or security, but if that were the case, then they would have said something to three people trespassing. Night has fallen and they are on their way out when they hear some really scary noises that prompt them to move a little faster.
Lighted on the torching.
Am I buying in the middle room?
What is that?
No. Who's what? Who's?
Across from them is a humming crying noise coming from some kind of candlelit vigil that they don't want to investigate. If they did, they might have encountered the scariest ghost sighting ever caught on camera. A kid is reading something off a website when his friend says something that makes him pause. Tell me what is being said here if you can. A wild face at the window sends him sprawling backwards in his chair with fright. There's no playing that scream off. He was seriously afraid for his life. He must not have seen the camera hidden in his friend's lap, and he never expected one of his other friends to jump at him from the window with a crazy look in his eye. But at least he saves a little bit of face by regaining his composure quickly and laughing along with them. Still, nevertheless, having someone peeking through your bedroom window is certainly a nightmare. The aggression with which some ghosts make their presence known can frighten even the bravest among us. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Mr. Miracle BR. The Redditor says this clip was tweeted by a police officer and reveals a strange, seemingly paranormal encounter during a police raid in Brazil. The footage shows what appears to be an abandoned building. The police approach to find a door banging repeatedly on its hinge. As they get closer, they see that it's doing so on its own. No trespassers are around. Nothing behind the door but an apparently angry plant. The man filming scans the door up and down, but nothing seems to explain the banging. The police hear something clatter to the ground somewhere far off and start running down the alley. Redditor Islin draws attention to something else creepy in the clip, writing, "How come no one is pointing out the girl in the doorway at 38 seconds? Not sure if that's a girl. In fact, it's unclear what it is. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's very unnerving." Those who don't see it remain skeptical about the seeming paranormal activity. Redditor Bin Medi writes, "Ghosts do this, but they don't do it constantly." Well, there you have it. The garbage has eyes. Posted to the Paranormal Evidence subreddit. See Holly Molly writes, "First noticed the eyes about 2 years ago. The ones next to the hose reel." She says this is a black plastic bag with sand in it, with no tape or reflective stickers attached. The security footage shows the garbage bag and its eyes. At some points throughout the clip, it even looks as though the eyes are blinking. The Redditor says the eyes appeared nearly a week after the bag was placed there. Some Redditors in the comments say it's pareidolia, while others think it's a residual artifact from the camera. Are we seeing a face that is not there? Or is this a real-life Oscar the Grouch? This video takes place somewhere in the South American country of Chile during the middle of a street race. A number of cars rush past and soon an animal randomly materializes without making so much as a sound. Watch again in slow motion, and it really does appear as though the dog steps out of an invisible portal. You can see its front half emerge first, followed by the torso and back legs. Then again, the blurred edges around the dog's body does look like it could be made through editing. I am not an expert in video editing though by any means, so let me know if you think this is real or CGI and how you could tell the difference. A YouTuber named Musafir Vlogs is biking through India late at night when something causes his bike to stop working. They later claimed during this part to have felt a spirit close by, and upon starting their bike heard a voice. I'm not sure if I hear it or not, but since this video has a lot of likes and so many people who claim to hear it, maybe I'm just not listening correctly. I think I might hear a gulping noise at 7 minutes and 18 seconds. Almost like someone taking their final breaths underwater. Tell me what you hear. This bike rider is about to get ghosted. Published by Scary Desk in February of 2022. A man on a motorbike stops in the middle of the road, and he's looking down the street at something. A pedestrian also stops nearby, and he seems to be looking at the same thing, which so far is off screen. After the pedestrian leaves, we see this. A shadow figure walks determinedly at the dude on the motorbike. As he gets closer, he disappears for a moment, but the man deliberately pushes his bike over as if to make a blockade between them and then runs off. The shadow figure suddenly reappears, and he surprisingly runs off too in the opposite direction. What is going on with this confrontation? It looks like the shadow was as afraid of the encounter as these guys were. What if that figure you sometimes see out of the corner of your eye is really there? Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Malachi James. The clip shows the pregnant woman's blanketed belly, and in the background a crying kitten. Across the screen are the words, "My heart is actually breaking." But it's at the very end of the clip that your heart doesn't break but starts beating rapidly. Redditor Quality Spooky Me sums up, "I didn't notice the head popping up at the end of the video the first time I watched this. What the heck is that?" The Redditor says her sister didn't even notice the shadow creeping up until she watched the clip back. The Redditor says that her sister is fine, nothing bad happened to her, and no further weirdness occurred in her last week at this house. She did mention, however, that she felt heaviness there, like someone or something was stalking her. Another Redditor, Link Nadeserico, also points out the glowing pinpricks in the darkened doorway at the beginning of the clip, like eyes in the darkness. Well, some call fake on this video due to the abrupt ending. As many note, this was a Snapchat, which may be the reason for the seemingly premature cut. Others think it's a ghost of the former pet, which the Redditor has noted was a cat with black fur. Sounds suspiciously superstitious. All that's hidden in the shadows may surprise you. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit, Rob Impulse writes, "Newest Sidemen Sunday video. It looks like they don't notice this person standing up leaning against the wall. What person is he talking about?"
I don't want to do this. I don't want to.
Rob explains that the video only shows the 7 Sidemen in orange jumpers, but around 30 minutes into the video, this guy appears hidden in the dark. Redditor Mitch's Microwave asks if it could be a bodyguard or cameraman, but Rob says the crew weren't wearing orange jumpers, only the Sidemen were. So who is this, and why is he hiding here? I think this one might actually be paranormal. In 2010, a mysterious creature sighting was caught on a GoPro camera in Ontario at Algonquin Park. A large shadowy figure unsuccessfully attempts to conceal itself amongst the scenery, too tall to be a shrub and too wide to be a human. There's always the possibility that this is a mannequin and that the video is fake, but if not, then what could this strange roadside creature sighting along the woods possibly be? This strange CCTV video captures a bizarre event that's worth taking a second look at. When played at normal speed, you'll see a blurry object show up for a brief moment and then disappear just as fast. Slow down the video and you'll see that this object is actually traveling at an impossibly fast rate of speed. It looks vaguely human and the CCTV is able to correctly identify a head, torso, and legs, as indicated by the small purple quadrants. Maybe this is a camera malfunction, or maybe this is a rare sighting of a creature that should not exist. A YouTuber in Italy named Alessio Rubes is experimenting with a homemade Ouija board that apparently works far better than he thought.
C'è qualcuno che vuole parlare con me?
His ghost hunting app goes off at the exact moment his dog goes on full alert, and then things get scarier from there.
Signora. C'è uno? Oh! No, raga. Lo starà a vedere, raga?
Alessio leaves the room to investigate, and his dog literally screams at something in the hallway. He turns around to find the light 2 rooms over is mysteriously moving on its own. He spends a moment calming down the poor pup who is now cowering under a chair and looks very scared indeed, further lending legitimacy to this already creepy enough video. When he goes to investigate the light, he finds it still steadily moving. I don't see how you can fake that kind of reaction from a dog, so I think this ghost sighting video is real. A YouTube channel called Free For All plans to explore a series of tunnels underneath Minneapolis that are rumored to eventually lead to a place called Satan's Cave, which no one has ever seen before. The group of friends grow progressively dirtier as they squeeze through narrow opening after narrow opening, sometimes climbing through sections of the tunnel that have almost completely collapsed just to see what's next. Soon the brick walls give way to smooth gray stone that more closely resembles the likes of a cave. When they see these highly detailed faces carved into the wall, they know they are on the right track. It's definitely a creepy sight for sure, but walls are still covered with tons of graffiti, which means that 1 million people have been here before. They aren't crossing new territory, at least not yet. After a while, they happen upon a side tunnel that seems to be unmarked and unexplored. They have to hunch over and eventually crawl on their hands and knees in order to continue. It's a long time before they stumble upon what has to be the narrow mouth of Satan's Cave. The cave eventually opens into a cramped chamber of sorts. The situation becomes all too real when they realize the hole in the wall is too narrow to crawl through. There is a hole to their left that leads straight down into pitch black darkness. Everyone gets an uneasy feeling about this huge floor opening, and they wisely decide to turn back around. Judging from the cave's nickname, I definitely wouldn't want to see what's down that final hole either. 01 Supernatural Studio takes a tour of this most haunted hospital in Asia.
其实这个地方的建筑是创立于1903年，据说在第二次世界大战开始，日本就占领了菲律宾，然后将这个地方改建成医院还有基地。然而日军开始节节败退的时候，并撤离了菲律宾。
As this team explores the place, they are sensing energies at each turn.
然后随着脚步声前往的时候，那一个警卫看见了一位高大的男性，并且穿着着军装，但因为灯光的关系
Did you see something in the darkness? In the next room again, they feel jumpy.
非常的清楚知道他看到鬼了。没错，那一定是鬼。
I'm not sure if that was a ghost or just a trick of the light, but this next one is hard to deny. Watch the doorway as this man reaches the bottom of the stairs.
每一个医院都会有一个太平间，然而我记得那个时候是发生越战，每天都会送到医院来相当多的伤患跟军人。
It looks like a figure passes at the end of the hall. Next, a strange shadow falls over this creepy hallway.
在这个地方工作的人，他说他真的很不喜欢这一条走廊，因为
They continue the tour and it just gets spookier from there.
接下来这个故事呢，其实是一位住在当地的美国人所告知的。
The pit looks like it drops all the way to the fiery depths below. They explore further and find this creepy underground bunker.
我朋友他的朋友告诉我的，当地曾经有一群年轻人跑进去这个废弃医院内探险。他们这一群年轻人，有几个甚至还在医院内玩着。
While we didn't see or hear any blatant ghosts on this tour, there's no denying this place is beyond creepy. I know I wouldn't want to wander those halls. Things are getting out of hand with this Pyro-poltergeist, published by Memoria Sobrenatural Inc. in December of 2021. The spirits first make their presence known in this haunted place via EMF meter. The crew tries to communicate with the spirits and the window shutter slowly opens, perhaps to distract from the fire being set behind them. When they leave the building, they see a dark figure cross a doorway in the firelight. Later, they're back inside and they hear clinking.
Cara, que sentimento horrível, pessoal.
And then a loud bang.
Cara do céu!
The flame they lit earlier goes out suddenly. Then, as they attempt to detect a presence using the EMF meter, the spirits send them up in flames. Do you think this team finally got the message? This poltergeist couldn't be any clearer. He wants them gone. I don't think I'd ever go back to that place. Poncho is patrolling his campus as a security guard when he and his partner see some strange activity coming through the window. The lights are flashing on and off at the same time in every last room on the first floor. It looks like they are standing outside documenting the event instead of rushing straight in. And you know what? I don't blame them, because I would definitely wait for backup if I saw this too. Or maybe I would try to find some non-haunted places to work at instead. A Dutch YouTuber named Govert Sweet and his friends go well past their limits while exploring an old place in the forest that's scary enough to have them jumping at every noise, of which I'll admit there's way too many.
Absurd dat daar nu iemand boven. Wat was dat? Was jij dat?
I've heard of a house settling, but this sounds like the opposite. Like a spooky house is ramping up in a bad way. A haunted place where everything has gone wrong long ago.
Wat was dat dan? Je was nou snoepst. Je was nou snoepst. Je was nou snoepst.
I probably would have already been out of there, but they decide to keep seeing what there is to find, which is one of the shadiest entrances to any basement I've ever seen.
Oh, nee, nee, nee.
They go down there long enough to record only a few seconds of footage before getting out fast, and for good reason. Yes, something scary could be lurking among the rubble, but there are also structural concerns as well. The place looks ready to collapse on them, so they made the right decision, because no scary ghost or creature video is worth taking that kind of risk. Late night CCTV footage has caught a possibly real ghost sighting at this YouTuber's place of work. Out of the shadows emerges a mysterious pale apparition that seems to briefly look into the room as it walks back into the shadows. It wears a white dress with an extra small waist that was popular during the 1800s. The uploader later found out this place used to be an old Victorian orphanage, so the look of the ghost does coincide with the history of the haunted building. Whether or not you believe him will determine how eerie this footage is. I believe him though. A YouTube channel called The Real Revealed goes to Sanjay Van, one of the most haunted woods in all of India. To top it off, they decide to wait until 3 AM before ghost hunting. I'm not so sure about this supposed first encounter though. They say this is the sound of a spirit, but I think it's just the cameraman breathing.
वैसा कोई दिखा है ऊपर की तरफ देखा हूँ मैं एक बार वैसे आप लोग अगर ये कैमरे में
The next voice, however, sounds much different, and I agree could be paranormal. It sounds distant, almost like a radio, but they're in the middle of nowhere and wouldn't get reception out here. Translate what is being said by them if you can.
लगातार इधर से उधर मूव कर रहा है क्योंकि लाइट्स में हमें
I may not know what they're saying, but I do see this light appear as soon as this strange voice is heard. It's probably a bug, but if it's not, then this is a coincidence worth mentioning. The voice trails off a short while later, and they aren't able to hear it again or find the source. I think they probably really did make contact with the supernatural, but I will reserve my final verdict until after someone is able to translate this video. Are you working shoulder to shoulder with ghosts? YouTuber Graham Lee is, and this time they caught the spirit in the act. Watch the left-hand corner of the screen.
Hold on. You say that there?
The box is sitting flat on the shelf before it slides forward and then leaps to the ground.
You say that there?
The uploader writes that there was no way anything could have pushed it off. To be honest, it's hard to tell from this angle if that's the case.
Totally. You see that there?
Something may have fallen behind it, propelling it forward, or perhaps it was somehow unstable on the shelf to begin with. So before I conclude this was the act of a phantom co-worker, I'm going to need to see more footage. According to YouTuber Steve Ronan, this mansion used to be a hideout of an individual who ended many lives, but Steve discovered it wasn't empty. While he's in the cellar, he has a bit of a surprise.
It's a tiny, like, little cellar. That's creepy. Oh my! I can see a mouse right there just staring at me.
As he's continuing to search the place, he wonders if someone's living here.
Kind of looks like this is being used, too. It's a dead cockroach on the floor. That's pretty nasty.
Soon they realize they shouldn't be here.
Okay, we should get out soon.
And this confirms it.
This is getting creepy now. This might be lab. That's what we're thinking.
And now it's time to leave.
Yeah. This was a famous artist's house.
I think a gang is going to be using this. Let's get out.
This exploration just kept going from bad to worse. I probably would have left the minute I found out it was once the hideout of a very evil person. YouTuber Eugene of Dark Magic returns to the house where the soul dwells, and he discovers that the soul still dwells there. While in the kitchen, he hears noise in the next room. He continues to explore, and the soul doesn't leave him alone. As he speaks to the spirit, he finds it has something to say.
Почему ты такой? Ой.
Simultaneously, a Steadicam moves into the next room. What is going on here? And what does this soul want? To me, it sounds like it wants to be left alone. When this woman's ex bewitched her, a powerful seer helped extract her from his spell. YouTuber Alberto Del Arco shares this mysterious video. First, the seer does something sort of magic around the woman.
Completamente en blanco, por favor.
The woman seems to become overwhelmed as the ritual continues.
O sea, con lo que la trabajaron es por lo mismo que lo estoy quitando. Tranquila. Bueno, cuidado. Tranquila, tranquila. Tus manos llévalas hacia ti.
As it progresses, the woman appears to expel something from her. In fact, she seems to be dry heaving.
Tranquila, tranquila. Es normal, es normal, es normal.
Did the seer relieve her of her ex's dark magic? It looks to me that something powerful happened here. It was even made physical. I believe that her ex no longer holds any power over her. While in the witch's house, YouTuber Dennis from Dark Ghost Paranormal discovers a living Rognet doll. The doll instantly puts Dennis on edge.
По всему телу. Здесь очень много мух появилось.
He places a walkie-talkie in the room with the doll.
Оставлю одну рацию здесь.
And he listens back to a recording he made.
Так, вытаскиваю микрофон.
The doll is watching. While he's in the room with it, he hears something in the next room. But he finds nothing. Though it seems like this creepy doll is harmless, there is something about it that raises my hair on end. Dennis packs it up and returns it home, but he does not enjoy the doll's company.
Она уже оказалась там на диване. Все. Сейчас я замотаю, как она была. Положу ее в сумку и заберу с собой.
Given these events, though, I'd say that's understandable. YouTube team HD Adam Paranormal finds themselves crying from fear in this mysterious abandoned village. That's because it's not totally abandoned. In the darkness of this derelict hut, they start to hear noises.
Kalk gidelim.
Ne oldu?
Kalk gidelim.
Ne oldu?
Kalk gidelim lütfen, kalk gidelim bak. Deprem oluyordu ya, depremin farkında mısın?
They ask the spirit to prove its presence.
Burada olduğunu kanıtla. Cin!
With the light back on, the presence continues to shake the room.
Ve duvardaki şeyleri başka bir şey zannettim ben.
When they ask it to move the door, the spirit complies.
Önümüzdeki kapıyı hareket ettirebilir misin? Cin!
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. 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 Kapıya doğru bak.
Kapıya doğru bak.
The team thinks the entity playing around with them is a genie. I think, genie or not, whatever is here will soon be done playing. Jump in the DeLorean and go back to this 90s home stuck in time. YouTuber Ranger Rick TV visits the abandoned place where a homeowner passed away, leaving everything behind. The calendar is left on the date she passed away.
And we have a calendar date, so this tells me that whoever last passed away in this house was on April 1992.
Behind the wall of one room lies a mystery, unsolved.
Makes me really curious about this wall right here. Let me light it up so you can see what I'm seeing. It looks like this was part of, well, this is the wall right here. But why do they have this little cutout right here? Something makes me think.
The main bedroom is left in disarray.
And then we walk into this room right here.
But the room where the homeowner passed away has been left untouched, and for good reason.
This is probably my favorite room in the whole house, for obvious reasons. Just because it's like the main room. I already told you the backstory on this place, and yep, this is where the lady passed away.
The poor woman likely passed away alone, and her body wasn't discovered for a long time. Such a sad story, and one I won't be able to forget for a long time coming. An unidentified flying object is reputed to have landed at this abandoned church, and YouTuber Luan Mendez is here with his team to investigate. The team finds a cross lying randomly in the grass.
Olha o tamanho dessa cruz aqui, irmão. Agora que eu vi. Olha aqui o tamanho da cruz.
É uma pega. Derrubaram ela. É.
And inside they find a burn pit that looks like someone or something camped out in here.
Passar uma noite. Ó, pra você ver, fizeram fogueira aqui, ó. Fizeram fogueira. Ó, a cruz, quebraram a cruz aqui, ó.
One of the team alerts Luan to some lights outside. When he goes out to check, beams of light are spotted in the distance.
Aonde, Papacapim? Papacapim, apaga a sua luz, mano. Pode apagar, vamos ficar no escuro, irmão. Porque senão vai sumir. Oxi!
And then it just disappears. Are the extraterrestrials watching? It makes me wonder.
Ó, se vê alguma luz, você apaga. Apaga a luz, bater aquela lá. Apaga, apaga, apaga. Meu Deus do céu, olha lá. Olha lá. Vem, vem, vem. Vem, vem. Vem.
And it also makes me wonder why this place has been deemed so important by the extraterrestrials that they seem to be monitoring it. Is it a spiritual site for them too? Only the extraterrestrials know for sure. While visiting the Witch's Tower in San Diego's Presidio Park, YouTubers Mackie and Amanda are confronted. It all starts with whispers and orbs.
No, wait.
That's Rockwood.
Did you notice the orb that appears simultaneously with the whisper? After Amanda hears a voice on the stairs, they also hear footsteps.
Voice. There's no way someone up the stairs.
Oh, it's about by the stairs too.
There's a front stairs.
Alright. Would you be able to set off one of our red devices on the entrance of the staircase or up on this wall?
Shortly after, a strange black mass appears on camera. Keep your eye on the top right of the screen.
And she finally told me that.
What was that? Maybe it was the camera strap getting in the way? Maybe. Later, Mackie feels a burning on her back. When they check it, they find a mysterious scratch mark.
Is it right here?
Yes, right there.
Yes,
there.
you literally do. And it's,
what is it?
It's like a deep scratch.
Oh, no, it's not.
I swear to God, it's like a deep scratch.
Like one finger. Like
three.
As they're getting ready to leave, they hear a whisper that sounds like something said Mackie. I think something has it out for Mackie here, and she'd better leave the Witch's Tower before it harms her further. Everyone must meet their demise when their time comes. Shared by YouTube channel Paranormal Man, this video is trending in the Japanese-speaking YouTube community. Its original source is from a TikToker. Captured inside a hospital, the video leaves viewers wondering if this figure is what leads us to the other side. While some think this may be the Angel of Death, others are considering the Grim Reaper or some other cruel entity. The figure leers over the patient, still in silence. Will it help him cross over? If this is what leads you into the afterlife, then I feel rightfully terrified.